Hello, good afternoon. This is Carly Hunt, manager of the Aruba Edge Technology Partner Program. I have with me today Thomas Gauthier, CEO of NodOn, an Aruba Edge Technology Partner. Thomas is going to give us a quick overview of NodOn and how the partnership between our two companies can benefit you.
Hi, Carly. Thanks for having me today. I'm very happy to have this discussion with you today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so happy to have you, Thomas. So to get started, can you tell me about the history of NodOn? How long have you been in business? What vertical markets do you cover? And in what regions around the world are your products available?
Yeah, sure. So, I co-founded NodOn exactly 10 years ago. This year is our 10 years. So, back in time, our analysis was pretty clear. There was more and more smart home and smart building solution on the market using interoperable protocols such as Z-Wave, EnOcean, Zigbee. But the offer of high quality and reliable sensors and actuators was very poor. There was a lot of solutions, but very few hardwares to talk with that solution. So that's why we decided to create NodOn and define ourselves as an expert of wireless, interoperable, and batteryless, where it's technically possible, sensors and actuators. So today, our products are intended to be used in any kind of smart spaces verticals, could be homes, building, offices, or even public facilities. So today, our products are mostly available in Europe, even if we still have some partnership in Asia or in the US, but major market is Europe today.
Okay, fantastic. And what are the typical headaches faced by end customers that your products are designed to address?
So to make it clear, our job is to automate buildings. So there's servers and software solution in the building. Those are the brain of the smart building. On our side, we do the hardware. So we are the eyes, the ears, and the ends of the smart building. So we provide all the necessary hardware to automate the building. And lately, we really focus on energy efficiency. With the cost of energy, especially in Europe, energy efficiency is very important. So along with automation, our products are very simple and cost efficient versus traditional wiring system because we don't need to put new cables. It means that the construction work to make a building or to retrofit a building is much easier using our product and our technology than using standard wired system.
Yeah, that's great. And can you tell us how the integration of your products with Aruba infrastructure specifically provides aspirins for these headaches?
So I'm not really a doctor, but I think it's much more stronger than aspirins. What we do,
Yeah.
what we both do together. Because when we started this business, our customers were super clear about the benefit of our product. They understand very quickly how it can simplify their lives and how it can offer services to the building, how it can help reducing the energy bill. That is very clear for all our customers. But the pain, and this is the same for the last 10 years, the pain has always been how do I recover the data from the sensors and how do I automate the operation of your actuators. We do sensors and actuators. That is simple to understand for the users, but how do I recover the data and how do I operate is always a pain. And how we solve this pain is that we always have to explain them that they need to install a complete IoT infrastructure in the building with gateway, with servers, with a software solution. And it needs to be well distributed within the building because we need to have a good coverage to be able to run the complete building. So this has always been a pain because it means a completely new infrastructure. What is very good with the cooperation we now have with the Aruba access point is that we don't need any more specific infrastructure. We can just directly connect to the existing Aruba access point and take benefit of the in-place infrastructure. So this is really a game changer for us because we don't need to have a complete new infrastructure to run the IoT. We just build the IoT on the existing Wi-Fi access point infrastructure, and this is much easier to understand for all our customers.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. And can you dive a little deeper into which of your products have been integrated with Aruba infrastructure, including both hardware and software?
So on our side, it's mostly hardware then using the EnOcean protocol. So we do a bunch of sensors. So there is the door window sensors to know if it's a door or window is open. We've got temperature sensors to know the temperature of the room, obviously, temperatures and humidity sensors. And we do have as well motion sensors, which could be very useful in office building, for example, to know if someone is in the meeting room or not, to adjust the heating or to adjust the light, depending on the presence or not of the people in the room. So that's for the sensor side. And then we've got an actuator side to act on physical devices, such as the lighting, the heating system. And then for that, we do have what we call the in-wall multifunction actuator, and then we do have a smart plug as well for more easy to install solution.
Great. And more specifically, which Aruba access points and Aruba OS versions support your products?
So our products are supported by all the 3XX indoor Aruba access points with OS 8.7 or above. So, and it needs to be equipped with an EnOcean dongle, of course, to make it compatible with the IoT devices that we provide.
Okay, great. So oftentimes there are different benefits that accrue to value-added resellers versus end customers. Can you tell us what benefits resellers will most appreciate about your products?
Well, from my point of view, so I'm not an expert in Wi-Fi access point, but I believe that this kind of reseller, they hear a lot about IoT, they hear a lot about smart building, and with that joint solution from Aruba and NodOn, they can now sell smart building and IoT on top of internet access with the Wi-Fi access point. So I really believe that the Aruba resellers are very used to sell Wi-Fi access point. And now they're going to be able, with NodOn product and our cooperation, they will be able to upsell smart building and IoT on top of this with no extra hardware on the access point side. So that's really, again, a game changer for me. And they can build IoT, they can build sensors and actuators on top of the existing infrastructure.
Fantastic. And would you tell us a little bit about your product warranties, service programs, and any as-a-service offerings?
So as of today, we mostly a hardware provider rather than a service provider. So we provide hardware with a standard hardware warranty, usually of 2 years period. We are starting to think about selling services on top of that. I don't know, maybe energy efficiency based on our hardware, that kind of the service we would like to sell. But as of today, we really focus on selling hardware and then win new projects side by side with the Aruba and the services that you provide to your resellers.
Great. And before we wrap up, Thomas, is there anything else you'd like the audience to know that we haven't yet covered?
Yeah, for me, there is something very important to say that today, when we try to sell IoT, we don't really know to who we need to talk within a company. Shall we talk to the infrastructure guy? Shall we talk to the IT guys? Now, with that joint offer with Aruba and NodOn, we have a solution that is within the chief information officer or the IT team scope. And then we know that they are the team which are able to bring smart building within the building and within the installation. So that for us, it's really interesting to know that with that joint solution, we know who we need to talk with, the IT guys, and we know who's going to be our partner to build new smart buildings and smart offices or homes with that joint solution from Aruba and NodOn.
Fantastic. Thanks for those final comments, Thomas, and thank you for joining us today and providing this overview of NodOn and our partnership. Thank you to our audience for tuning in. If you're interested in learning more or would like to move forward with a joint opportunity, please contact me, Carly Hunt, at carly.hunt@hpe.com. Thank you.